Well, morning again, everybody. Just coming to you, back again from outside of my porch. I want to do a follow up on the Tiphani Montgomery of what I said in my last short about her lashing out, or her basically trying to pronounce curses on people and threatening people with curses of other people in their ministry. See, this is one of the reasons why people call her a witch. I know Eric Mason just called her a witch. I know Pastor Ray Curry from The Unction on his channel, The Unction, just called her a witch. And, he even went Old Testament on her and said, I do not permit a witch to live. So what you got to understand is, those saints, there's a reason why people are calling her that. It's because of this lashing out, this threatening people with curses and ministries. Again, the book of James is very clear that blessings and cursing should not be coming out of the same mouth. So the reason she's getting called a witch by some of these pastors is because of the threatening nature, the threatening of cursings, just keep talking about me because I'm a real true woman of God. I'm a real true prophetess of God. And if you talk about me, something's going to happen to you type of thing. This always pronouncing like evil over people who speak against her. And the extreme non-accountability, the extreme pride that's exhibited from her, and how she calls out everybody else but won't call out her own self and her sin and her ministry, is just that's where the witchcraft and the witchiness is coming from, and that's why she's getting called that. And to me, there's a reason, and I could be wrong about this, but there seems to be like a church hurt or a church wound coming from her. I know she has a lot to say about Matthew Stevenson and a lot of stuff that came from there, and I agree with her. Matthew Stevenson's a hot mess, don't get me wrong. But saints, this is a clear example of when, you have a church hurt or a church wound and it doesn't get healed, and you're operating in ministry out of, mental, maybe being mentally unstable or emotionally unhealthy. Insecurity and instability it's gonna happen. It's automatic. When you try to minister out of pain or hurt or a wound that's never gotten healed, then by default, insecurities, you're always defending yourself like I'm a true woman of God or I'm a true man of God because I'm a true prophet or prophetess. You're always going to defend yourself all the time because you're always insecure. And two, you're always going to try to justify why you're lashing out. And you're going to try to justify that, cursing on people. Because deep down, you're ministering out of that pain. And so if you're emotionally unstable or emotionally unhealthy or mentally unstable, insecurities and instability is what you're always going to have every single time. And that's what's happening right now, in my opinion. So there's a wound there that's never been healed. And, she just needs to sit down. She needs to sit down, get right with the Lord, repent, because she's missing it right now. And she is operating in a spirit of witchcraft, whether she wants to recognize it or not.